Hello, welcome to this week's Monkey Nut Punch podcast. Me, your fabulous host, Gareth. And Keith, who I can only describe as he is there.
Talking of another person that's there, Biffa was in early. He was in before we even got going.
Did he?
Yeah, came up in the credits. So the opening title scene, he was there. I mean, there's gold, and then there's, platinum, I suppose.
I wouldn't describe it as gold. As I said, it was full start. Jumped in before he'd even pressed the starter pistol had fired. But well done either way.
Yes.
So yes. So how we been? What have we been up to?
What have I been doing this week? Planning a trip because at one point we were seriously considering doing Disney for the day, okay. But then it was kind of like, yeah, it's not really going to work. So we decided we're going to do Disney next year in Tokyo. But we're going to Hong Kong and there's a Disney there. But we were sort of thinking about it, and then it was kind of like there's a load of other things we want to do. So we've only got like a day and a half there, and we're going to take a whole day at Disney. I want to go to Disney, I do. And I suspect the Hong Kong one is slightly better, but we're going to do it in Tokyo. Instead, I have agreed to go on a cable car with a glass bottom. And I'm watching the sort of like TikTok videos and I'm already shitting my pants. I don't do heights. And this is 30 minutes of a glass bottom fucking cable car going up very tall mountains. Anyway, what have I been watching this week? I'm trying to think what I've actually watched this week. I'm caught up on everything. I know that. I watched the season final of Invasion. It was shit.
I was debating to watch that or not, and then you hadn't said anything, so I was like, it's probably shit.
First two seasons are pretty good.
First two seasons, they look like they beat them.
Well, you thought it was going somewhere, and then it kind of sort of fizzles out at the end, and it was a bit, was that it kind of thing? I started watching, because I've got absolutely nothing else, I started watching CBS's Watson, because they've cast Robert Carlyle as Sherlock Holmes. But they've got, the dude that was like the funny comical FBI geezer in Ant-Man.
Oh, a Chinese fella.
Yeah. He's Moriarty.
Okay.
Yeah. So I thought, I've watched a couple of episodes, a bit meh, but I just thought Robert Carlyle as Holmes. I want to see that. He doesn't turn up until the second season. Anyway. What else have I watched? I'm trying to think what else I've seen this week. I can't think. It's been such a busy week. I don't think I've watched a lot. What have you been watching?
I have been watching the Celebrity Traitors on the BBC.
Yeah, I haven't got to that.
Which is good. Poor Stephen Fry got kicked out.
Oh. What?
Stephen Fry got kicked out last episode on Thursday.
Why?
Just because they're trying to figure out who it is, and it was a toss-up between him and Jonathan Ross. Yeah.
And they kicked out Stephen Fry over Jonathan Ross.
Yeah, they're going to kick out Jonathan Ross next week. I guarantee that. But you got Nick Mohammed, the guy who played what's his mush in in Thingy.
Nate the
Him
Great.
And Joe Marley, the rugby player, the only two that look like they're capable of taking the Traitors down. Everyone else is fucking clueless. They are being played like you wouldn't fucking believe. Yeah, between the two of them, there was one bit, and it was they were pretty like kind of. I was watching them in the background. I didn't really root for them until they got to this point where they're on this like chessboard, and Nick Mohammed says, "I think I've got the Traitors in my team," because he had Jonathan Ross on his team and Stephen Fry, and he went, "I'm going to throw this so you guys win." And he was like, "Okay, cool." And it's like, oh, people are thinking. People are actually fucking thinking, and it was just. That was good. It's the one that gets me is Alan Carr as a traitor. And Alan Carr murdered his best friend, Paloma Faith, on the first fucking opportunity, which I found hilarious. And everyone's like, oh, Alan would never do that. He's the one who fucking made it happen. He's the one who was his choice and his actions, which were great. And it's been really entertaining. I've also been watching Tulsa King, Slow Horses, something else. Watched something else, and I can't fucking remember what it was.
Well, you obviously watched Slow Horses.
Oh yes.
And I am watching. I tell you what I'm watching. I'm watching that other thing on Apple TV. The sort of Frozen in the West, Alaska bunch of criminals. It's got Dominic what's his face that played young Tony Stark's father as like this supposedly bad dude, but you're not 100% sure. That's sort of watchable on Apple TV. So I did watch that on Friday as well. But yeah.
I
go on.
went to the cinema and watched Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh, you jammy bugger! I wanted to see.
I've got the thing not this week but next week. Oh, looking forward to that. And then I've got the week after, a couple of weeks after that, I've got They Live. Which is that, and it's just all I remember. The thing I always remember about They Live is the fight between Roddy Piper and Keith David in the alleyway that seems to go on longer than it should do. And apparently, when John Carpenter, if you listen to him, he said, yeah, he didn't tell the actors the fight was going to go on for as long as he did to make it awkward and annoying for them, so they could come across as really frustrated and pissed off. So you get genuine response out of them, and it worked. It's great. Classics, man.
I also watched The Iris Affair. Or the first 4 episodes, because that's what's been released. It's a Sky Atlantic production, and it's from what's his face behind Luther? But this is like, it's got a science fiction edge in the fact that there's some kind of quantum computer that can think, and is using polymer to grow kind of brain stems. And you know, it's got the geezer that was in the Pirates of the Caribbean and the Night Manager, the English lad. What's his Tom? Shares the same name as Spider-Man.
Holland.
Yeah, Holland. His name is Tom Hollander or something, I think. Okay. You'd know if you saw his face because he's been in loads of things, and he's kind of playing a bad guy, but. It's like you got this woman who's a genius who was hired to kind of work out a password because the previous genius had locked out the machine, and this guy had obviously used like kind of mafia money to pay for it, and you know. Anyway, first 4 episodes were interesting, set in Italy, but it was quite good. It was quite interesting.
9 Bodies in a Morgue in Mexico. That was the other thing I was watching. It's about a plane crash, and it kind of like it's kind of like Lost meets Harper's Island, where people get killed off once a week. So,
okay.
And you have to work out which. There are 2 survivors. One's probably the murderer, and one's probably the one that got away. But yeah, that was interesting. I might have to go back and watch it because I wasn't quite paying attention. My head was full of kind of work shite, but yeah, it was good. So yeah, there's that. Nothing else. I've been trying to play some games. I've just started playing XCOM 2 again.
I ain't got time for that. But,
and the other thing too is I've reached the conclusion that John Carpenter may have been the best director in the 80s. You'll go, oh, Steven Spielberg. And I'll go, well, some of his good bits were in the fucking 70s, and then his more kind of dramatic stuff was in the 90s. But during the 80s, there is pretty much more John Carpenter films. No, he didn't do the Goonies. That was Richard Donner. E.T. was him. Starman's better though.
He produced it.
Do you remember Starman?
Yes.
Yeah, he produced it, not directed it. He didn't direct it and didn't do the music either, which John Carpenter was famous for. But he didn't do like Starman with Jeff Bridges, which is their version of E.T. Much better film. Big Trouble in Little China. The only film that I would say is a spiritual sequel to the actual first Ghostbusters film. It even features the fire station, and they use the pulse. You got that. You got The Thing, which is fucking just awesome. They Live. God, I think there's a fog in there. It's the fog, not to get confused with Mist. But yeah, much. I will pull up his 80s films versus Spielberg's 80s films, and it's the Stones versus the Beatles. You know what I mean? Everyone says I like the Beatles, but when you start playing the Stones' tunes and you go, which ones do you prefer? You tend to lean towards the Stones. So,
We'll have to look at 80s Spielberg movies versus, because I don't know if I agree with you on Starman being better than E.T. E.T. is kind of iconic.
Oh, do you know what? I can be honest with you. I fucking hate E.T. I really
You're the only
hate
one.
Out of all the thing is, it just comes across as space pedo hides out in fucking shed. Yeah? That's how I see E.T. Space pedo, yeah, comes down there with his weird glowing finger. Where does he want to do that? What are aliens famous for, Keith? Probing. They like to probe, Keith.
I knew where you were going.
Big, long, glowing finger.
Before.
Small boy. Come on. You know Hollywood's famous for that shit.
Oh, dude, he's trying to ruin E.T. He's trying to ruin my childhood, ladies and gentlemen.
Dude, everyone else has ruined your childhood for you. Doctor Who has gone to shit. Star Wars has gone to shit. And Star Trek has gone to shit. 3 pillars
Leave
of your
E.T. alone.
childhood.
And definitely leave the Goonies alone. I know it wasn't, but I mean, Spielberg was, heavily involved in it, because that's how what's his face? Hang on, Indiana Jones was in the 80s.
Yeah, but fucking, what do you call it? Big Trouble in Little China much better than Indiana Jones.
Oh, fuck off!
Oh, it is. Jack Burton! I would rather spend an evening with Jack Burton than I would with Indiana Jones.
Oh, come on. You can't... no, I'm not letting you get away with that. Indiana Jones, no way. You're not getting away. Don't get me wrong. Big Trouble in Little China is a fucking great film. It's iconic, and it is as good as Indy. It's not better. It's just not.
Hang on a second. Better than the Temple of Doom.
Yeah, well, anything's better than Temple of the Doom. That was the dodgy movie. I had a design and technology teacher that looked exactly like that fucking Kazakh Doom geezer. Don't
take my fucking heart out.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ, it could have been him. But the third one, Last Crusade, is good.
Yeah, but it should have ended there, and it was kind of
the only one where Indy being in the film makes a difference.
Hold on a second, Keith.
Yeah.
Keith, just like to point out, Indiana Jones was also ruined too.
If you've seen it, I haven't seen it. I've only seen the first 20 minutes of that film. Therefore, it didn't ruin it for it.
I didn't even bother.
Well, no, the first 20 minutes is actually pretty good Indiana Jones stuff. I stopped watching it after that. But you're kind of right. Anyway, we should get into the news, because for the first 15 minutes we've been waffling. This is to make up for the lack of news.
It's important. No, it's not to do with lack of news. Right, okay, hang on a second. Let me pick. What story should we get on with?
Biff, don't worry, we've got it covered.
For you.
Oh no! What happened? Oh no! How terrible! That's just awful! How terrible! Oh no!
Lost my notes. Where's my notes? Josh took his fucking around and I fucking lost my notes. Oh right, so George Luke, no, fuck off. Doctor Who on no. Back to, oh fucking hell, I've scrolled past the last week's notes. Shh.
Say, hold up, wait a minute, something.
That works.
Yep.
The Jetsons are officially heading back to the big screen. Warner Brothers is developing a live-action reboot of the 60s sci-fi classic with Jim Carrey in talks to star. The film is being written by Colin Trevorrow, Jurassic World, and Joe Epstein. And it's got little asterisks by Joe Epstein, so I'm assuming it's got nothing to do with Epstein. Yeah. With Trevorrow also possibly directing. It'll reimagine George Jetson and his wife Jane, their kids Judy and Elroy, and Rosie the robot for a modern audience. Oh fuck me! A futuristic twist on the family that once symbolized mid-century optimism about the space age. Oh, we are so fucked. We are so fucked. Modern audience.
Yeah, I know we hate that term. And we do hate that term, but I'm not sure that's what they mean. I'm not sure that's what they mean. I mean, it's the Jetsons. I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, it was like, okay, maybe we're not going to have mum like working in the kitchen kind of thing. you know, and Dad going off to work. I can kind of understand maybe slightly updating that, right? But I thought Jim Carrey in the lead role, that would work. But they've got to sort of, he's got to almost play a Truman, Truman Show.
You know what? No.
Why?
This is going to be really odd. For George Jetson, I would have picked, and don't laugh at this because I'll explain in a second, Bryan Cranston. But I'm thinking Malcolm in the Middle, not Breaking Bad. Because if you think Breaking Bad, then no, that doesn't work. Walter White selling meth in the future doesn't work. But the dad from Malcolm in the Middle, that would work.
I think Carrey could work in this role. I do. I mean, I loved the Jetsons cartoon when I was a kid. It was one of my favourites. That and the Flintstones. two sides. One set in prehistoric time, one set in the future. But those are the two I liked as a kid. I liked the Jetsons and the Flintstones and Wacky Races because who doesn't like the Wacky Races?
Yeah.
But
so there's a note here. The tone could mix retro design with modern satire, which would work considering the Fantastic Four design stuff works.
Yes.
Because that's one thing you can say about the film, whether you like it or not. The visual styling that they did was a good set of visual styling. But it says the Jetsons meets the Truman Show.
Well, that's means... what I was about to say, because I mean, the Truman Show is a great fucking film, and if you haven't seen it recently, I watched it not that long ago, and I thought, do you know what? This is actually a really fucking good film. Ed Harris is brilliant in that. Jim Carrey's brilliant in it. It's a damn good film, The Truman Show. And I was just thinking his character in The Truman Show would kind of work as George Jetson. It's just how they do the dog and how they do everything else. But I don't know. I liked the Jetsons as a kid, and I did. And they've been talking about a freaking live action, mate, for years. So, but this sounds like it's actually got some legs. And this is the kind of thing I wouldn't mind seeing a live action, see what they do with it. But you're right, it absolutely has to use that sort of what they did for Fantastic Four. That's what they got to do, because you can criticize certain things about the Fantastic Four, but it looks fucking great, and I love the world they created. I do like the world they created in that.
That's the annoying thing about these Disney things. I think, with the exception of, say, the Marvels film, most of the stuff that you watch has usually got really kind of, well, actually saying that, the Thunderbolts too, most of them have really good production and it looks really good. Yeah. So like the what do you call it, the Guardians of the Galaxy is another example there. But when I hear the term modern audience, I think, they're gonna.
I didn't actually see that. I just saw Jim Carrey as George Jetson. I thought, that's great. I didn't read the full article. Modern audience. I don't think that's what they mean, but they've just got to stop using that fucking term. They really do. This modern audience doesn't exist. We're just the audience, not a modern audience. The audience. The modern audience cuts out half of the people that are going to go and watch your movie.
The modern audience that you talk about is about 10% of the population, and they don't spend money, which you found out, because the regulars turn up to do it and they're the ones spending money, but the ones that you're catering to, they don't. They just want to ruin stuff, and then are happy that they ruin stuff. Never be friends with an activist, people.
No.
Sorry.
It's true.
Bit black pill in there.
It depends what they're
No, even if they don't. No. There's people who they're concerned citizens and they're activists. Concerned citizens.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. So it's like, kind of, dude, they need to sort something out with the railing on the thing in case someone goes off and kills himself. That's a concerned citizen. Yeah. If they're sitting there counting the skin colours of people in fucking adverts, then there's a problem.
Yeah, man.
I think it's a problem as it is anyway. Anyway, Jetsons. What do I think? I think I'm a little worried because of the term modern audience. Jim Carrey, I don't think he'll do a good George Jetson. I'll be honest with you. I think he'll do what Jim Carrey does. He'll chew up the scenery, and instead of being, because George Jetson's a bit of a bumbling dad sort of character, yeah. So you need people who've played bumbling dad sort of characters. That's why I think Bryan Cranston would have gone really well, especially given the Malcolm in the Middle stuff. Is there anyone else that would work? Not off the top of my head. But saying that, I can't think. The dog's going to be CGI. And the robot, I don't know what we're going to do with the robot, because the robot was a not so pleasant stereotype, shall we say? Well, not so. No, actually, a stereotype. I wouldn't say not so pleasant. It was they were all nice people.
But that's what I think they mean by a modern audience. There is, it's not problematic, but you know what I mean. I think that's what they mean. I hope that's what they mean, and I hope it's not what we think it is. But yes. Anywho,
I brought up the wrong, give me a second, because I brought up the wrong bloody story. So give me one moment. I was hoping that you'd wax lyrical for a bit. John.
Oh, I've waxed lyrical for long enough. I mean, you could just say George R. Martin. I'll go off on one.
This is for you.
Women, know your limits.
In a recent revelation, Adam Driver confirmed that he and director Steven Soderbergh developed a standalone film centered on his character Ben Solo / Kylo Ren, titled The Hunt for Ben Solo. Whilst the story had the backing of Lucasfilms, it was ultimately rejected by the Walt Disney Company executives, who said they didn't see how Ben Solo was still alive despite the franchise's history of resurrecting characters. Somehow Palpatine came back and he's alive, and there were so many opportunities you pissed away there. In response, fans have mobilized banners and social media campaigns, and a save the movie moment has emerged, pointing to a lingering passion and frustration for Star Wars fans. Just know it's suffered enough. It really has suffered enough. It's like having a horse and the Grand National's coming up, and the horse can't vault over things. The horse can barely gallop. Yeah, you're behind the horse because the horse is always the underdog in the race. But it's not going to happen. The hunt for fucking Ben Solo. Is Ben Solo a submarine? Hang on a second. Are they gonna have like a CGI? What do you call it? Sean Connery pilot him under the fucking Atlantic, and then have Alec Baldwin track him down.
Alec Baldwin. I think I probably get why Disney said no to this. I know there's a lot of butthurt people out there that want to see more Ben Solo, but those sequels were trash. They ruined Star Wars. Why would you make another one? It's why the Rey movie didn't work. And it's not because she was a woman. It's because Rey's character was shit. Okay, Ben Solo, slightly more interesting character, fucking ruined. Because they never had a consistent plan for him. So 1 minute he's the uber evil dude. The next minute he's... and the next minute he's, knocking it off with Rey. There was no consistency of his character throughout. No, it was a completely different character from movie to movie. Right? He was a fucking emo wanker in The Last Jedi. Right? Why do I want to see an entire movie based around him? I like Adam Driver, and I thought his character could have been interesting, and it wasn't Adam Driver's fault. It was terrible writing, lack of direction, bad production, bad fucking management by Kathleen Kennedy not to have a fucking treatment for the 3 movies before you went into production, right? Throwing out George, don't even go, oh God, I could rant on this for ages. No! Disney were right for once.
I'm going to pull the DEI card and say it's a male-based film from a male-based director and writer, and they can't have that.
Do you think that's the reason, or do you think it is the fact that it just won't make money because people? I think it's one of the
factors in there. Steven Soderbergh can make films.
Yes.
Adam Driver can act.
Yes.
Steven Soderbergh knows people who can write. So does Adam Driver.
You should have been far too busy for this bullshit, because you should have been playing Snape. Anyway, carry on.
Hold on. And here's the funny thing about it, yeah? Because they're qualified, they don't qualify.
Yeah, but...
Because Disney wouldn't want anyone competent doing fucking Star Wars, now would you? You want to hire Chinoy, whatever her name is, yeah? Who's never directed a fucking $100 million film. Yeah, and have a direct right, and it's. I like Daisy Ridley. Seems like a nice person, but Rey was crap. It's weird. Actually saying that, when I look at all the cast, they all look like good people. And watching some of their reactions, especially when they did that, Rise of Skywalker, where they're all like, even we don't know what the fuck was going on with the script and the story in this thing. Yeah, it kind of makes you feel that they're on your side ever so slightly, even though they do know which way their butter's bread.
I think they are, but look, you could be right, and if you are right, that's even sadder. But I think the sequels are now widely regarded as trash. They do not hold up. They do not have the rewatch value on Disney Plus. They do not have the draw to the park. That's why they've started putting older characters back in there. They just don't have the pull. You know, and you only have to look at the way these idiots at Lucasfilm react and still employ this twat, right? When Star Wars Theory had his reaction to seeing Luke Skywalker, and that prick from Lucasfilm had a go on Twitter. That guy should have been fired immediately. Yeah.
Oh, I would have fired him. I would have fired him.
Should have been fired immediately.
Name.
But he still works for Lucasfilm.
If not, what I would have done is I'd have made him do a really horrible, grovelling public apology to him. I would have had him fucking go over there, say he's sorry, take him back to Lucasfilm, show him a load of things, give him a fucking lightsaber, say, I'm really sorry about what I said. Will you take this as forgiveness? Yeah, because that would have been a good PR thing if you really wanted to keep the guy. The problem is that people at Lucasfilm, and I think this is the other thing too, if Steven Soderbergh was going to do the film, yeah, it would have been outside the hands of the Lucas story group that they've got. Yeah, and I think that's the problem that Colin Trevorrow had too. Because Colin Trevorrow wanted to write a story, but there's like they're like, no, we've got to put it through these people who want to add fucking dinosaurs and time travel in there, yeah? And it's like, dude, it's Star Wars. Big fucking aliens. Hyperspace shit. Yeah? And it's...
Yeah, I mean...
The Reylos scared the shite out of me.
Yeah. I mean, their version of Disney's Star Wars is dead. I mean, it never took off. They... You know, the only thing that slightly worked, and it was only the first 2 seasons, was Mandalorian. As you said, it's spectacularly average, which it is.
Yeah.
But it did work for a certain genre, and it didn't do anything to ruin Star Wars, right? It didn't do anything to destroy it. It just sat alongside it. A bit like a lot of episodes from the Clone Wars, it was spectacularly average. There's some fucking fantastic Clone Wars episodes. There's also some dreadful ones, and you know, on average, it was average. But the 3 sequels did a lot to destroy Star Wars, and you never had a consistent plan. Ben Solo could have been a really interesting character, and Adam Driver playing him could have been really, really interesting. You fucked it. You got a hack known as J.J. Abrams to make 2 of the movies, and they were dreadful. And you got a prick called Rian Johnson who did not give a shit and just wanted to, because his ego is way too big for the movie, and wanted to put his own take on it, and just completely fucking ruined it. He made a piece of shit movie.
He ended the trilogy at film 2.
Yeah.
It's like, what
the
were you
arrogance
thinking?
of and that's why Rian Johnson now makes films for Netflix.
Yeah.
And has not been hired by a big studio again. Right? You see, the thing is, they never admit failure. They never point failure out. But you just have to see, right? Where's this Rey film? Not happened. Now it's 3 years ago. Not happened. Where is it? No one wants it. So it's not happening. Right? We are getting this Starfighter film, but it's too late. It's too late. Andor was this brief shining light, but it was set in the Star Wars we know and love, and that's probably why it worked, and Disney had next to nothing to do with it, because what's-his-face didn't let them,
which was fucking wise of him.
Yes.
I'll be honest with you, that's the wisest thing that he could have done.
But you know, Disney only have themselves to blame. They should have fired Kennedy years ago. She's shit. It is obvious. She was responsible for these decisions along with Bob Iger. pair of them should not be running Disney. Disney, we say this every week. They've only got themselves to blame. I really didn't like it.
I think that if they'd have put someone a bit more disciplined in the creative area, yeah, maybe two people, yeah, maybe one who's really fucking creative and one that's good at getting shit done, yeah. So you would make sure that you do a film with a fucking script, yeah. Don't fucking announce anything until the treatment and everything has been agreed. As soon as it's been agreed and given the green light, because everyone's gone through that 48 page treatment of what you're planning on doing in the story, then give it the tick. But until then, you've got there's no creative people in there. Yeah, there really isn't. Dave Filoni really likes Ahsoka to the point that he's ruined her. We quite liked her until he actually put a live action. And the annoying thing is, Rosario Dawson, whoever her name was, got showed up by Hayden Christensen with a fucking lightsaber fight on the fucking bridge in the middle of nowhere, whatever it's called. World Between Worlds, sorry. And you could see Hayden Christensen was holding back too. Yeah. And it was like kind of, geez, it's like kind of, give it to a fucking stuntman and glue the face on. Yeah.
I when I first heard Rosario Dawson for Thing, I thought she'd really work. But she is monotone throughout. She's got resting bitch face throughout. The show's choreography was appalling. The lightsaber choreography is appalling. Although I will say that the young actress that played young Ahsoka, way better. Way better.
Oh, yes.
That scene with her, when she's got way better. So Ahsoka season 2 is not going to do anything. And I know what it is. What's his face? He's got, we've got, the mother and father and, sister, brother and all of that Force stuff in it. It's too late. It's too late. You have got to clean house. The mouse of house has to clean house. And it won't. And it will crash and burn. And I do not have sympathy for these people. I do not, because you had the opportunity as shareholders, you had the opportunity and you went with Iger. And what has he done? Has he capitalized on any of his promises? No. Every Marvel film has been a fucking flop this year. He has done nothing. There is a rumor to how much truth is in it, I don't know. But the rumor is that they're throwing 100 million at fucking Lucas to come back and make a Star Wars film. Do what?
As I said
the only way you fix this is you throw out the sequel trilogy. You throw it out. Right? You stick it in another universe, and then you come back and bring Lucas back to make his fucking sequel.
His prequel. No, his sequel trilogy. Yeah, yes. I think they should do that. I would do that. I would actually do that.
Oh, I would sit there and go, it would fix it. It would fix it, but they won't. Their egos are too big. Hollywood is made on egos. The only thing bigger than the money is their fucking egos. And it's true. I believe it about Kurtzman as well. He won't make Legacy because he wasn't involved in it. And the best performing Star Trek show was the one he wasn't involved in. And I believe that because it's believable.
And the second best performing one is something he wasn't involved in either. So,
It's the same here. Until Kennedy's gone, until Iger's gone. Now, if they're wise, they'll throw those off into a separate universe, and they'll make and they'll throw a fucking 100 million at Lucas. Come back and make the first one in your trilogy. We'll remake it, but they won't. I mean, you'll get bums on seats. You really will, and you might revive Star Wars, but they're not going to do it. Star Wars is dead. I as much as I hate to say it, it's true.
If I remember closely, in the notes for the prequel trilogy, there were these little things that landed on planets and destroyed them. They're little AT-ATs, but without heads. The little robot things that would then fuck with the tectonic plates. I'd like to have seen that. Oh no, we got Death Star, but bigger and rounder. That was it. It goes, oh my god, it's bigger than the original Death Star, and it's rounder.
It was. I mean, that The Force Awakens was always going to make money, right?
I really love the way that. Sorry, I'm going to pick on you now. I love the way that you and others were like really keen on it, and I saw it like as a greatest hits. You know, when a band comes to the end of their contract and they release a greatest hits, it came across like a greatest hits to me, and I was.
My mother agreed with you,
Yeah.
and I've since changed my opinion on it. But that's because The Last Jedi ruined it. The Last Jedi is so bad. I mean, it's like it is objectively a bad movie as a middle movie in a franchise. You know, he didn't want to make a franchised movie, so why the fuck was he hired?
Hired to do a franchised movie.
And the person that is responsible for that is Kathleen Kennedy. And I know that loads of, but you know, it's all these white single males. I'm married, by the way. White males on YouTube slagging off Kathleen Kennedy. But at some point, right, they're going. You know, some of the things that people say about her is not warranted. But as a boss, she fucked up. You don't have to be a fan to see it. It's objective. Right? If she hadn't fucked up, Star Wars, there would be a million Star Wars movies out there now. Everybody would be visiting that park, the Disney parks, and going again and again and again, right? Because of the love of it. And there isn't. There's apathy. She is responsible for that as a manager, as the president of Lucasfilm. She is responsible for that. Any other company in the world, you get fired. You'd be voted out. You'd be thrown off. The board would have a meeting and get rid of you. What the fuck is she still doing there? I mean, Hollywood just doesn't live in the real world, doesn't think people see this. Oh, if we just don't say anything, they'll forget about it. No!
Okay.
Anyway.
I've set him off. Let's move on to the next story quickly.
Put a ticket in, make a living.
In a move that's turning heads across Hollywood, Amazon MGM Studios have secured creative control of the James Bond franchise for what appears to be for $20 million. According to the filings at Eon Productions, the figure is dramatically lower than the previous reports that estimate the franchise values up to $1 billion. The deal is making a major shift in one of cinema's most enduring properties, shifting creative reins away from longtime stewards Barbara Broccoli and Michael G. Wilson. This is the thing with I don't think it's not Hollywood anymore. You know that, don't you? It's no longer Hollywood. It's the tech firms. The tech firms are now owning it, and the problem with the tech firms owning it is they don't do loads of coke and come up with mad stories in the middle of the night, write them down, and then turn them into a script a couple of weeks later. Yeah, like that's how most 80s films were made. It's like kind of RoboCop. A guy comes back as RoboCop, but it could make it about Jesus. It'd be really cool. You could have a gun and everything. Yeah, and then it's like kind of Chinatown, demons and things, and done by a truck driver, and they come up with all these kind of mad stories. But they don't do that anymore. It's like kind of, wow, it goes, oh, this is this, and it's come back to that Star Wars thing. We're saying, oh, Star Wars is fine, so we can just use Star Wars, and that allow us to print money. Forgetting that there's a level of creativity in there and a level of storytelling in there that needs to be in there. Plus, at the same time, too, you can't just keep reusing these franchises again and again and again. They will wear out. You need to try it. So I think when Sony bought Columbia Pictures, the Sony guys were like, kind of, why? Right, so you got 10 films out this year. I mean, yeah. And you're expecting 3 of them to fail. Yeah. And 1 to do absolute gangbusters. Yep. 2 to do really good. Yep. And the others to do okay. Why are you making the 3 films that might not make money? Well, we don't know if they will make money or if they don't. We're taking a punt on it because if it works out, then they'll become one of the big performers. And if they become one of the big performers, we're going to make sequels and so forth and so on. And they're like, oh, okay, all right. And they went, we'll leave you to it, but we don't like you making stuff that would make losses. And because of the tech firms are now taking it on, they're looking at it going, and they have exactly that same approach, where they look at these things and they won't let anyone take a punt on these things, yeah? So they buy franchises, like Amazon example here, buying James Bond in order to, how can I put it, they think they can print money off of it. And it's not a bad one to do. Yeah, but as long as they remember there's a level of creativity in here and artistry that needs to happen so people can be entertained and enjoy themselves. As long as they understand that it's a power fantasy for middle-aged men who like driving fast cars and sleeping with younger women. Yeah, as long as that, and want to shoot bad guys in the face. Which, I'll be honest with you, it's probably most middle-aged men. Yeah? Who doesn't want to who's never wanted to shoot their colleague in the face? I'm just saying.
The last Bond movie wasn't that, though. The last Bond movie is dreadful.
I know.
It should never have been made, and that's probably why it was sold for 20 million. Because it did a lot to destroy Bond. No, everyone you speak to didn't like the last one. Malik was a good baddie, but...
All they had to do with the last one is have it look like the bombs were coming down on him, and then do a quick cut, and he's not there. And then you could go, oh, he figured, he didn't know, and then he figured a way out to escape right at the last moment, because that's the James Bond thing that James Bond does. Jumps down the side of a fucking dam, jumps off of, right, this is what always got me at the beginning of GoldenEye, jumps off of a fucking runway on the side of a mountain and somehow still manages to get in the plane and throttle the bastard up so he doesn't crash into the ground.
But I think a lot of it is to do with Daniel Craig and his influence. I think Daniel Craig arguably did a lot to destroy Bond. Yeah, okay, Skyfall is a fucking great movie, and it's a good Bond film. But he just, you know, he got hit with a wokey pokey stick and just ruined it after that. And that last movie was dreadful.
He does hang around with old roundhead Ryan Johnson.
I know.
Says a lot.
But the last film is terrible. It's not a Bond film. It's not a Bond film, and they should never have made it. I don't know what Amazon are going to do with it. I kind of like the trailer to the game that I've seen. It feels like Bond, and if they're going to make it like that, okay, I'll give it a go. But it has to have some of the core elements of Bond. And if it doesn't, then it won't work. And it won't. And I do think there's a lot of desperation right now in Hollywood. And you're right about this, and I do worry about Amazon because they are the least creative of all of them. I mean, the only bloody thing that I really truly rate on Amazon is Reacher. I kind of enjoyed Gen V. I don't rate The Boys anymore. What else have they got? They cancel a load of stuff that starts off, you know, has the potential to be interesting, and keep stuff that's absolutely fucking dreadful. Rings of Power. So what is Amazon and Netflix are very similar. I think the exception is part. I think one thing is the exception when you talk about creative. Apple TV has some creatives. They do. Yeah,
but you have to remember, Apple TV is there for vanity.
I know.
Oh, we make really good programs. We've got Ridley Scott does Napoleon. We've got.
Oh, I know it's vanity.
Yeah, it's. But I'll be honest with you, it kind of works a lot better than fucking Amazon and the others. It really does, because it's like, okay, Foundation, it's not quite there for me. Storyline wise, it got better. It definitely got better, especially when you had Cleon Momoa in the third season. That worked for me. I'm sad to see fucking Lady whatever it is, Demoiselle, get killed at the end of that. But spoiler warning, sorry guys, ruined that for you. But it is a lot better. Like F1, I really can't wait to watch F1 in December when it comes to Apple TV, because that's going to be a fucking good watch there. That was a great film. And it wasn't anything spectacular either. It was the standard. If you go to ChatGPT and say, ChatGPT goes, review all the sports films from the 80s and 90s, goes, and create me a skeleton of something, and I can plug in the actor, and plug in the sport, it would come up with F1.
Yeah.
It would come up with F1.
But that's what we need.
But still, but the problem is they're too dumb in Hollywood to realise that was a winning formula. Yeah, as long as you did it right, as long as you made sure everyone believed in it and whatnot. And because we hadn't had it for ages, Cool Runnings is a great sports film. Yeah, the Mighty Ducks, Major League. Yeah, you had all these things here, and you know what? I've just thought of that. Do you remember that Mitchell and Webb sketch with the really shit writers where they do a cricket film, and they turn around and goes, "Oh, we're writing a cricket film," and goes, and the little paper clip popped up on Word. It goes, "It looks like you're trying to write a heartwarming story about cricket." It goes, "Do you need any help?" And it just asks us a load of questions, and we filled it in. That's fucking great. Now I think about it. Have you seen that cricket? If you remember that cricket sketch thing. it's not over until the game's not over until the amount of overs that were supposed to be done in that day were done in that day. That's the name of the film. Oh my god! But coming back to that James Bond, 20 million. That's a steal. There is a reasoning behind that. So I don't know if it's 20 million in cash and the rest in shares, because never disclosed whether it was that. Yeah. You're right, Daniel Craig did fuck it up, but I'll be honest with you, as I said, you could have let him believe what he wanted and then got to the editing bay and went, "No, that won't make."
Terrible ambassador for Bond, terrible. And the other Bond actors criticised him. I mean, Roger Moore apparently really didn't like him. I mean, Roger Moore was an ambassador to the end, although he was old school. But even Timothy Dalton, has never been overly critical of Bond. Pierce Brosnan has been, is still one of the best. He was terrible, Craig. I mean, he was paid all this money, got all this fucking gear, and he still bitched and moaned about it. And then he got paid 50 million to come back and make the worst Bond film ever. On Her Majesty's Secret Service is a better film than that. It's the worst Bond film by a long way.
The thing that gets me, he's just so fucking miserable.
Yes.
You think he'd be making demands, yeah? You think, right? So one of the demands I would have made, I would have put my fucking wife in it and had me shag her on screen because he ran Rachel Weisz.
Yes,
she could have done that, yeah? He could have done that. That would have been good. No, he wanted him killed off. There were things he could have done, yeah? And I don't get it. I don't understand it. It's just...
I don't understand why he was brought back. I don't understand why they did that.
Andrew Garfield. Make Andrew Garfield fucking James Bond. He'd be a fucking great ambassador for it. He's 40. He is 40, isn't he? Yeah, he's 40-something. So, yeah, he'd be a great fucking ambassador for that. Okay, I don't think he can play James Bond because he hasn't got the kind of... Doesn't look like he's actually been in many fights, if that makes any sense. But there's some... It's wank. Sorry, thingy. I've deemed you wank. I think I didn't like Casino Royale. I think I like the beginning bit where he chases down the plane across the tarmac. That scene there. But the rest is like them playing cards. I don't sound rude. That's fucking boring. Yeah. The bit at the beginning where he does the old gunshot thing, yeah. I think he's having a fight in the toilet. Oh, anyway.
Yeah, I know.
No, wank. The thing with the balls, though, that was good. Where he's got to go get the other one. He goes, "I can just tell everyone you fucking scratched my balls for me." That was the only really James Bond moment in it. A witty quip in the face of a bad guy in peril. That worked. Where did that go?
They tried to do something and it didn't fully work. And, maybe it is time for somebody else to have a go. And I do think Eon kind of ballsed up the Daniel Craig era quite a bit. But I'm not sure Jeff Bezos controlled Amazon because, Jeff Bezos wants to be seen as like a serious, high society guy. He's a twat. And he never will be. He never will be. This is going to sound really snobbish, but it's true. He is and will always be seen as new money. I mean, he wears a cowboy fucking hat to space and calls himself an astronaut. Fuck off. Just fuck off.
So if Elon Musk would have been in the same situation, they would have had him in zero gravity grabbing his crutch and going, "I'm gonna see these astronauts, motherfuckers." He'd do something like that. It'd be all over Twitter the next day, and then everyone would be calling him racist for doing it for some reason.
But the thing is, as much as you say what you like about Elon Musk, I think given the chance, he would go through proper astronaut training, and he probably would go to proper space, not launch himself in Dr. Evil's giant penis.
True.
I mean, he is a poor man. Bezos is a poor man's fucking Doctor Evil, and he's not as competent as Doctor Evil. He just isn't.
Sounds fun as Doctor Evil. I reckon if I sat down with Doctor Evil, me and Nick would have a fucking great evening together. Don't think the same with Jeff Bezos though. That's always the fun when you sit there and go, if we went out for the night and just like had like dinner and drinks and talked bollocks, yeah, who would I have more fun with? Yeah, Doctor Evil. The antagonist from Austin Powers.
I call it a Belgian dip.
But saying that, they have got Denis Villeneuve in there. As long as they get someone, if they got someone who's got like good writing credit and they pick the right James Bond, it'll be fine. Yeah. If I find out fucking Loretta Lynch is James Bond, yeah,
No,
which I'm not ruling out. I'm not ruling out, Keith. Do not rule it out, because when it happens, I'm going to say fucking called it. All right? Loretta Lynch, who's got a face like I slapped ass. And on that note, got a special song just for Jeff Bezos.
You're a cunt.
That was for Jeff. There's been renewed buzz about a potential Star Trek series titled Star Trek United, in which Jonathan Archer, played by Scott Bakula, assumes the presidency of the United Federation of Planets, and he must steer through early era crises. The pitch explores post-Enterprise period where the Federation is still young, unstable, and need of leadership. And chiefs like Archer might be the man for the job.
I just want to say, Skydance, if you're listening, make this.
Just do it. Do it.
I mean, this is interesting because this has got legs, and it has been getting some legs. First off, what's his face? Douchebag. Nothing to do with this. This has been hatched by Michael Sussman, who was, part of Enterprise. Right now, Enterprise was hit and miss, but the thing about Enterprise was the characters were really, most of the characters are very likable, and some people hated Enterprise. There are Enterprise episodes that I absolutely love, and I love.
Keith, just a quick moment. Can we just have a moment of silence?
For Trip.
Just to remember Jolene Baylock's tits.
Oh, okay, that as well. Yeah.
Sorry,
but I am up for seeing something like this, and I think this is Skydance doing this, and I think this is Skydance pushing this. I don't think this has anything to do with Klutzman. And I think it may be a test. I mean, again, Skydance, you got to get rid of Alex Klutzman. I can tell you right now, Academy is going to do like that, and leaking the fact that it's going to have there's going to be Cisco involvement in it. There's no way, fuck you, got Avery Brooks out of retirement. So,
Avery Brooks. Avery Brooks played the fucking voiceover over the phone.
No way. But you're trying to entice people to come and watch it, and I first episode of Academy, a lot. Then it's going to drop because everybody's going to realise it's Discovery, right? And Discovery was shit. That's why it was canned, right? And you can hide it, you can massage the figures. The thing is, right? If Discovery had done well, it'd still be on Netflix, and Netflix wouldn't have publicly tried to get rid of it. Right, and the show that Amazon wants, which is Legacy, you're not making because Klutzman's ego, right? I think this has nothing to do with Klutzman, and absolutely should make it. This sounds interesting. It's a different show. But Scott Bakula is likable, right?
Yes.
And he just is, and he was likable as Archer. And a show where he is president, you're going to do the West Wing meets Star Wars, a Star Trek. That could actually work. That could actually be interesting. Something a bit different, right? with likable characters. You could bring back characters from the Enterprise here. You could bring back T'Pol and her boobs. You could bring back. You can't bring back Trip. You bastards for killing Trip off. Although you could just make up that was a load of bollocks because everybody hates that episode. So you could just write that out of history. And Trip is still alive. And you know, there's lots of little mini Trip T'Pol babies running around. And you know,
I would have liked. You know
like...
what I would have liked. Do you know what I think they should do? Is I think they should that last episode of Enterprise where they did that thing with the fucking holodeck. Yeah, I would have had it so he turns it off, but Archer remains, and he turns around and goes, "That's not how the story went." That would just be just do that, and then we can go. Oh, okay, and then you can do this.
I think they might do that. I think they might write that out. It's a Haiti thing, and no fan's going to complain. They should do this. You should absolutely do this. Right? Do something that fans actually want. Do something that brings people back. Get rid of Kluxman. Leave it to these people that are trying to make this. Leave it in their hands. They'll make it good. And throw a shitload of money at Tony Retiris and just make Legacy. Right? You're going to have 2 seasons of Academy. You'll make, you know, it is going to crash and burn.
I'll be honest with you. You don't even have to throw large sums of money at Terry Metalis to make it work.
He'll come back. No, he'll come back.
He could do it.
Yeah.
He could do it on a fucking shoestring and still make it better.
No, it's to convince him to come, but I think he'd just come for it because he loves Star Trek, and you know he'd love to. Even now, I think he still love to make Legacy.
It's a bit weird because when they describe this, it sounds really Babylon 5-esque.
Yes.
Yeah,
there is some Babylon 5s, but maybe that's what we need. I just think, I mean, you stick Scott Bakula as front, you know, call it Star Trek United, President Jonathan Archer, fucking people are going to tune in. You're going to bring back the fans. And this, Star Trek, you can still start, you could bring Star Trek back to life. I don't think you can do it with Star Wars, but you can definitely do it with Star Trek because you haven't ruined it enough. People don't consider Discovery as part of the main timeline, and there's a very easy way that you could write it out the main timeline. The same with Strange New Worlds. There are easy ways that you could do that, right? Okay, you kind of fluffed Picard season 1 and 2, but Picard season 3 did a good enough job of massaging over that. So that
it just ignored everything. It ignored everything apart from the fact that he was
it referenced certain things, but it did a reasonably good job. It did a reasonably good job of you know getting around that, and it brought back the fans, and I think Legacy will do that again. You know, the casting of Jack Crusher was great.
Case, and then they're not making Legacy, but there's a good chance they might make this. So just take the win.
Oh, I think they will make Legacy. I think they might.
I think they'll let them make this, yeah, and then hopefully then they'll if they bring on Terry Metalis to help out, even if it's just like a guest writer, yeah, you might get Legacy. There's a better chance of it now that Skydance own it. I just hope Skydance do the sensible thing and just turn around and go, what is this shit? We can't sell it. And just go, I really don't understand how Paramount... this is the thing that gets me, yeah? These places are businesses. They are supposed to make money. Yeah, they're supposed to make money, yeah? An OD on fucking cocaine and hookers, be it stars, directors, or producers, yeah? Like they used to. Yeah, because they were so successful and there's so much money going around, even in like kind of the bits where we thought everything was a bit shit. But no, we can't do that anymore. It comes back down to that tech firms and everything. But Skydance isn't a tech firm. So it is owned by a tech person, but it isn't a tech. It isn't like an Amazon-owned sort of property or an Apple-owned property or whatever.
But I think Academy's going to crash and burn, and I think that's going to be the final nail. I mean, he's already got a nail in his coffin thanks to Section 31. I mean, that was universally panned, which was wonderful. And I think the same thing's going to happen to Academy. I think it's going to get universally panned. They couldn't pan Discovery. They'll pan this. I mean, it looks shit.
Yeah. Okay. All right, let's park that there. I haven't been looking at the comments. So now it's time for the comments. Dun, dun, dun. So, Biffa. Gold star as always. Your thoughts on the Adam I've just revealed that Disney shut down. Don't, as I said before, don't punish poor Star Wars. It's dead. Leave it alone. He's dead already. That's the Simpsons one, isn't it? Stop beating him. He's dead already. The film was called Hunt for Ben Solo, directed by Steven Soderbergh. Which, I'm going to watch that soon. I've got The Thing, and then I've got They Live, and it's fucking awesome. I watched. I watched. What do you call it? A few of Capaldi's bits recently, and yeah, I miss actual Doctor Who. Even that other stuff there. Temple of. Oh, fuck off!
There'd be some fighting words there.
No! Fight me!
Kalam.
Fight me! Fight me! Yeah, dude, there's Jack Burton! Keith Russell.
I would pick
Russell.
Big Trouble over Temple. I think.
Monkey brains. Oh, I really wish that, as I said before to you, Keith, it would have worked better with Miranda Hart rather than Phoebe Waller-Bridge. She would have been fucking hilarious, and it would have been great to watch because she would have beat them by stupidity, and it would have been the most funniest thing because you've had cranky old man acting as a straight person and her being stupid. Why was Miranda Hart not in that film? Now I think about it. There's the missus. You're ahead of everyone, darling, and you still missed out. We need to ask who asked for a Jetsons reboot. Well, it hasn't even been booted. So they've run out of things. Look, Biffa, the long and short of it is they've run out of things to ruin. Yeah. So now they are literally rifling through the drawer. The last thing they ruined was Tron. Yeah, and it wasn't even seen that way. And then it's like, I missed this, but I love the Jetsons. I hope. Yes, Tanya's got a Loungefly bag of the Jetsons. Ed Helm. I have to Google Ed Helm now. Ed Helm. Sorry. I want to see who this Ed Helm fellow is. Ed Helm. Ed Helms. Yeah, he would work as George Jetson. So would the guy who played Ted Lasso. He would work. I would pick him over Jim Carrey.
Fair enough.
I'd rather have Weinstein's personal assistant make space switches.
He's talking about.
They already have done.
He was talking about Star Wars when.
Yeah, I know.
And I'll give him that.
Oh.
The power
Hi,
of
Steve.
One, the power of many.
Power
Hi,
of
Steve.
Power of many. Oh, fucking hell! This is why you don't. This is why women never run anything. And Chuck.
He's in.
Aren't you supposed to be in Portugal or something?
He is. He's in Lisbon, and it's birthday. Happy birthday, Chuck.
Oh, happy birthday, Chuck. Laurie took me to an awesome rooftop bar in Portugal called Scene. Nice. And then he signed
There's a much better one called
show.
Unseen.
Can't fucking take you anywhere, can I? I would take the Star Wars books and make fake. Yeah, that's a good point. So the Thorn trilogy is one of them that's in there. There's the one with Mara Jade too, and there's some comics I think that need to go there. I go to the Disney parks again.
That's because you're a Disney fan and you're a fan of old Disney.
Yes.
And I would agree with you.
I love James Bond films, but I haven't seen the last film. Lost interest when Daniel Craig became James Bond.
Again, I would agree with you.
And you're a woman. Bezos only cares about growing Prime subs. When he says that, my brain was thinking of like that drink Prime.
Yeah.
I was thinking of that, and I was thinking of like Mr. Beast and the Logan Pauls and that of the world. Bond is like chewing gum stuck on his shoe. I wish.
What did you say?
Excuse me?
What did you say? What did you do? You on the sofa?
It'll be fine. I liked Enterprise, and I'm not a Star Trek fan. Yeah, that's a good point. The one thing I didn't like about Enterprise is the thing.
Boobs. You're in trouble.
Oh, T'Pol's boobs.
Yeah, you're in trouble. Well, if I'm going to be on the sofa, fuck it.
I'll be on the sofa thinking about T'Pol's boobs at this rate. Nobody cares about T'Pol. Please come back. Yeah. Oh, and we got Piss Stupid Ganger.
Hello, mate.
Piss Stupid. Yes, working on stuff but listening. Oh, cool. Now let's dial the music down. We got a trailer to watch. So you sent me a trailer.
So this is Vince Gilligan's new show that has had several strange trailers, and being Vince Gilligan, this is basically like one long opening scene for Better Call Saul or Breaking Bad. It's science fiction. It's on Apple TV. Starts in a couple of weeks' time. I haven't got a fucking clue what it's about.
Yeah, I'll tell you after, actually.
Yeah.
You can hear it, yeah.
Good morning, Carol. Is there anything we could do to cheer you up?
I mean, that's so Vince Gilligan.
Hey, Carol.
Sorry, I'm a fucking Liverpool supporter. That music carries a certain weight for me, alright?
Just want you to be happy.
Can I ask a question?
Certainly. What would you like to know?
How do I reverse all this?
Rest assured, Carol, we will figure out what makes you different.
Figure it out. Why?
So you can join us.
What the
We would move heaven and earth to make you happy.
If I asked right now, would you give me a hand grenade?
Yes.
What about a bazooka?
Mm-hmm.
What about a tank?
Oh, sure.
Feel free to move about the cabin, Carol.
I thought her name was Karen. I was just saying, because there's a whole different fucking twist on it. So, do you know what this film's about?
It's not a film, it's a TV series.
Sorry, this TV series is about.
No one does.
So, I'm looking at this, and one, they're very keen to make her happy, yeah? And the reason and they're doing some tests on her, and what I think it is I think that her state of mind affects the world. And the reason I say that is I need this fucking shot. There it is. Yeah? I think if she gets unhappy, bad things happen.
Could be.
Yes, she was in Better Call Saul.
Yes, she was.
Because if you look at them, yeah, they're just like, no, we have to do everything we can to keep you happy. Yeah? So she could be, like, she's got, like, godlike powers or whatever.
There is a previous trailer where it's like everybody's happy, always happy in this world, and she's the only one that's not. So there is a slightly older trailer, which is slightly different to this. But no one knows what this is. No one...
Unless it's like the Happiness Patrol in Doctor Who.
It is meant to be science
scary as
fiction.
Doctor Who.
It is meant to have a science fiction edge. I mean, but it does. I mean, the bit where she's walking through the empty fucking shot, and then the shot of the house. I mean, that could have been fucking right out of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. I mean, he does have a certain visual style to things, and it's very much on show in this trailer. Certainly, there are moments where I think, is this Better Call Saul? And the music, yeah, I know it's slightly, but it's very Vince Gilligan. Thing is, I fucking love Breaking Bad, and I really liked Better Call Saul. In many ways, Better Call Saul was possibly better at times than Breaking Bad.
I liked it because it was happier.
Yes,
it was less. It was less dark, and I appreciate the fact that it was less dark.
And I really hated Skylar in Breaking Bad. Every time I watch it, I can't stand her. She's terrible. But I liked.
Oh, okay, all right. So there's a disease making everyone in the world really happy, apart from her, who's miserable, and she's the one who has to reintroduce misery into the world.
Is that what
that's
they're
what
saying?
I just pulled it up. That's what. Sorry, excuse me. That's what Bing had told me.
I don't know if it's right.
I use Bing because Bing plays like fucking old fucking Google rather than new Google.
But it starts in a couple of weeks on Apple. The other thing that we're getting, which I think starts next week, is Century Road. Did we watch the trailer to Century Road? Because you know what that is, right?
Century Road?
Yes.
No.
It's the thing starring Emma Thompson set in the Slow Horses universe. Have you not seen... It's written by Mick Herron, set in the Slow Horses universe, and it's basically Emma Thompson and Crazy Bitch from Luther. I can't remember the actress's name. But it's set in the Slow Horses universe. So it's Slough House and the park exist in this. So I'm half expecting to, that you might get a cameo or two. Same people, by the way.
Are you sure it's called Century Road?
I think it is something like, type in Emma Thompson, or was it Down Century Road?
Sorry, I've just pulled up L2 trying to find it.
Hang on.
I still haven't watched
Down Century Road. Down Century Cemetery. Sorry, Cemetery Road. Sorry, Cemetery Road.
Cemetery Road.
Yeah. There okay. Sorry, dyslexic mind.
Down Cemetery Road. I see. Okay, I'll might have to start watching that.
That starts next week. Set in the Slow Horses universe. Awesome. I don't know, but Emma Thompson. The trailer's quite amusing, and I quite like Emma Thompson. So this might work for me. What should we talk about first? Do we want to talk? Because fucking Slow Horses, fucking awesome. Tulsa King, fucking awesome. So which one do you want to talk about first?
Can we talk? Let's do Slow Horses. The reason I said that because it's a little fresher in my mind. So, with Slow Horses, this is the time where you thought the Slow Horses fucked up really bad last week when they killed the what he was standing with paint buckets, and this time you get to watch fucking the professionals really epically fuck up.
Well, it wasn't. I mean, Lady Di didn't.
No,
she kind of went, "Don't do it," and he did it anyway. And it was kind of Claude that fucked up, and I think we're about to witness bye Claude.
Oh no! So it was Claude that fucked up, and the IT department, which Ho got kicked out of, they fucked up. And Ho knew it, and he didn't do anything to stop them, which was the worst bit, because you could see him just sit there as it happens. He went, I would have told you, but I think you're all dicks. The worst thing is, the funny thing is, I reckon Ho's figured out how to fix it too.
Yeah.
because it's really fucking casual in that pizza. Sorry, let's recap. Okay, so the episode starts off, they've killed off the guy, yeah? So you've got River and Co, and they are, and when I say Co, I mean Co as in C-O-E, as in the character name, not River with people. You've got him, and they're trying to explain themselves to Jackson Lamb. And it's just great, because it's like kind of, River's trying to play it like, you know, he hasn't done anything wrong, and blah, 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 didn't murder him, and this, that, and the other. And it's like kind of, fuck, and it's Lamb sees straight through it like a dad, you know. He's got dad skills there, where he's just like, no, this is bullshit. And he sees straight through the fact that they are pretty much responsible. Co then plays in the fucking dictaphone that he took off of Matey, the guy who died. And it was like, oh, fucking hell. He goes, you're not going to tell the park. Of course I'm not going to tell the park. They'll fucking shut us down. You've got that. Brilliant. Absolutely fucking brilliant. Just watching them getting fucking reamed by Jackson Lamb. And he's like, just stay away from me, for fuck's sake. And then you've got Lamb meets, I think he meets Claude for the first time, actually. And it's like kind of, instantly, he's like kind of, they look at, he sees Claude and he says to Lady Di, Taverner, he's like kind of, I feel kind of sorry for you. She's like, last thing I want is your fucking pity, like that.
He goes, you've got to work with that.
I'll get your fucking resignation out now, darling. Yeah, and yeah, so you've got that. Yeah, it's just fucking mad. And then you've got the big setup. So River's granddad phones him up from the home, and because he's senile and he's not quite with it, he's trying to get something across. Yeah. And he starts talking about bees, and then he talks about honey trap, and he says they'll do it, and then they do it again. And he warns them, yeah? He warns them. And that set me off, because the moment Claude... Right, so you got Tara, who's the bird who sets Ho up. She's in Thingy. And they've profiled... Using Ho, they profiled Claude, so they could get to Claude, so they could shut down MI5. Yeah, and I reckon Ho's going to turn around and goes, if you go back to Slough House, my one computer can do all the shit that your computer can.
Oh yeah, it's going to be. I reckon.
Something along those lines.
I watched him interviewed the other day. He's Australian.
Is he Australian?
He's Australian.
I know that he's got. I know he's got RP, so he speaks very, very posh sounding. Because all England, when you get he's trained in this country though, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean he's Australian though. His accent's Australian. But it's, I think, I mean, I didn't see it at first, and then when Claude starts sort of trying to make it do it, I was like, then they started talking, and it's the fucking Libyans. Just Back to the Future, apt. But when they started sort of like it was the bit when Claude was talking to her and they were mentioning Libya and everything. I went, oh, she's the ringleader. And I like how they did it with the music and everything at the end.
Oh,
and she just escaped. Yeah, it's just brilliantly done. And it was like go blind. I was like, oh no, they're taking down Soho. They're taking down the park. So it's gonna be the slow horses. I think Flight's gonna get but I think Lady Di is going to kick out Claude. I mean, he's fucked up this time, too big time. So Di, she'll use it.
I think that Flight will be fine. I don't think Devon and whoever the other dog was at Slough House are going to stay around. I think they're gone, which would make it awkward for Flight, which will make it more interesting. So that's something I kind of can see.
But Slough House will survive because Di will get power, but he's got Lamb's got too much shit on her, right? So it'll be a stalemate. It will be a unhealthy but stalemate, and I think that's how it'll end. They'll save the day. I don't know if we'll see any deaths this time round. I don't think we will. I think just Claude will get booted. I'm wondering if What's-Her-Face comes back.
I don't know. I really don't know. I really don't know. I think, yeah.
Because she left to make some other TV series, and I know that's why she's not in it. But she's a continuing character in the books. But I I don't know the story to this one. I do actually know what's coming next, but I don't know the story to this one. But it's been darker, but the paint pot scene is still brilliant. The paint pot scene is just is brilliant.
The fact that it gets splashed with pink paint to make it more ridiculous.
Yeah,
that's the bit that gets me, and it's just when it's the bit where they go, oh, Roddy's laptop was there to access the file. What they just don't want on Claude, and then you cut back to him and goes, I don't understand, like that, yeah. It goes, what do you mean you can't track her? And then it gets into the system, and you've got Roddy with the biggest shit-eating grin on his face because he knew that something like this would happen, and I think he's got something to back it up too. That's the worst thing. I'm going to try and find Wi-Fi and download it Wednesday night to watch on the plane coming home, because it's the last one, season final this week. I can't believe it's gone that quick. But anyway, Tulsa King. That was fucking good.
That was brilliant.
So recap. What's his name? I can't remember his fucking name now. I just literally watched it like a couple of hours ago. Matey, who he doesn't like, who's the kind of established gangster in the area, gets pulled over by the FBI after a conversation about him being a rat. And he tells him, "I never brought up you being a rat." Yeah, and it was like, oh, suspicious. He's now caught up by the FBI. So Dwight is suspicious that something's happened to him, which is quite nice because I think he's actually growing attached to him ever so slightly, if that makes any sense. And the other guy's called up, the tech fellow with the glasses who was in all those tech things. And they were like, we're concerned about our guy. And he's like, okay, fair enough. And then the fact that he was being tailed by Robert, I can't remember the character's name. I can't remember anyone's fucking name. It's all gone. Robert Patrick's fellas. Yeah. I usually can remember. That's the thing. Robert Patrick's guys. Yeah, and they are. And you've got Sasquatch. What's his name? What's the big fella? Is it Sasquatch? Yeti? Bigfoot. Yeah. Bigfoot following them, I think. And it's great because he pulls over, goes, we're being followed like that, because let's go get some snacks. So he gets out, gives them snacks. And the two of them have an argument about something, like a friendly argument. And in the background, you can see him beat the shit out of them. I was in fucking hysterics watching that because it was just like the strange juxtaposition, because I was thinking, is it going to go into like a gunfight? But no, that didn't happen. And then you've got the gunfight that I had in the hotel with the mafioso boss from New York, which was good. So yeah, it's interesting. You've got the coppers who are clearly on Robert Patrick's side, and there's some serious shit going down. And it's
who do you think's on the phone at the end? Good. Do you think that is Samuel Jackson's character? I know he was trying to call the mafia boss, wasn't he? Because the way it ended, it's like that wasn't Dwight's fault. But actually, Dwight does need to take out the New York mafia guy. I mean, 80%. Fuck off. I don't blame Dwight for telling him to, get fucked, basically. Yeah, no. But I'm still waiting for Samuel L. motherfucking Jackson to turn up. He's got to turn up soon. I like the bit with where the two, drop off the booze at that sort of guy in the church. How does it work? My guy's over there taking it out now. Is this how it works?
Nice and easy.
Yeah, this is how it works.
And it's like, okay, it was like kind of the less they know, the less they can tell about them. We went there, these guys picked it up, and that's it.
But Dwight's got to kill Robert Patrick. Although I think he's going to use the bomb to blow him up.
I think he's going to forget about the bomb, and it's going to get him right at the end. I really do think it's going to be like, I forgot about that. All this other shit goes on. He forgets about it. He's asked the guy to bomb him. He fucking bombs him. Does a really good job too. And you're like, oh, okay. I do think the sun's going to turn from the whiskey bootleggers, what you want to call them. Yes. I think he's going to turn. He's on the verge of turning. Yeah, yes. Especially after the camo comment, where it's like kind of, you can't be wearing camouflage, blah blah blah. That's.
Yep.
Good.
Really enjoyed it. but I made a point of watching it earlier, just to catch up, just so I was aware, because I knew it was a good episode. So yeah, again, the shows that we're watching have been quite good. I'm really enjoying.
TV this year's been so much better. It hasn't been this good since 2019.
I'd agree.
So
I would agree.
I'm quite happy this year, TV wise. It's like kind of, we had slow horses, which is good, but there are other things too, and it's just the volume I think is increasing. I think certain voices have been quieted, and other ones have been allowed to express their creative talents, which is now making TV much better. So yeah. On that note,
yes, I think we should put a bow in it.
Let's put a bow on it, and
yep.
Yes. Thank you guys for watching. We will be back. Are you here next week?
I am.
Okay,
I'm only away for a night. 2 nights. 2 nights.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll be back next week. So thank you very much for watching. We will catch you next week, and enjoy. Bye bye.